What's going on, YouTube? Steve V here with another video. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Appreciate you guys coming into the Man Cave Arcade, hanging out with me for a little while. If you guys are new to the channel and you enjoy the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. If you're already subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Now today we're going to be talking about some interesting images that we've seen on the Arcade1Up front. We got some leaked images of some prototype cabinets that Arcade1Up was working on. Unfortunately, none of these cabinets made it past the prototype stage, so we never got them available at retailers or even from Arcade1Up directly. But the fact that they were working on these cabinets is pretty exciting, and you never know. There is always a chance that maybe Arcade1Up could revisit one of these cabinets, and maybe a retailer out there would be interested and we could possibly get one of these. So I'm going to let you guys know my opinions on each of these images of the cabinets that we saw. And I'll even let you know the one that I think is the most likely to actually come out through a retailer at some point in the future. And hopefully you guys enjoy the video. So let's get it started. Here we go. So the first leaked image that I personally seen was of this cabinet right here, and that is 720. I seen 19K Fox make a video about this leak as well, and he did a great job kind of explaining how pretty much this proves that that leaked list that we saw was pretty accurate. These were things that Arcade1Up was working on. Now, as you can see with this prototype, they nailed it. They did a phenomenal job. This really does look like the 720 cabinet. You know, you got the boombox at the top. It's got that iconic shape. Now, they did add some more buttons to the control deck, so I'm not really sure what games they would have paired with 720. But either way, they did a phenomenal job with this cabinet, and I feel like a lot of people would want this part of their collection, even though it is more of a niche game. Great looking cabinet, and again, this proves that that list had some merit. Now, the next cabinet that we got to see was Paperboy, and as you can see, this has been done in a Star Wars cabinet, so it's as much of a prototype as you could possibly get. It doesn't even have its own shape. They just made it out of another cabinet that they have, including the Paperboy handles that they have. That's just the Star Wars yoke, just modified, but cool to see that they were at least trying to have a Paperboy cabinet, because a lot of people complain that it's kind of hard to play on the Midway Legacy cabinets. So to actually have a Paperboy cabinet would be cool because you could play it the proper way. So whether this ever sees the light of day down the road, you never know. But as of right now, it's clearly just a prototype. It truly never got past that stage, but still pretty cool to see in this modified Star Wars cabinet. Now, the next cabinet that we got to see was a Spy Hunter, and this was also in a modified cabinet, the Outrun cabinet. Now, again, with this being a prototype, you never really know if this was the actual form factor they would have gone with. If it was, I wouldn't be interested. I had the Outrun cabinet in this form factor, and it just didn't do it for me. Though it was a fun cabinet, but I just didn't find that stool comfortable. And I thought I looked pretty silly sitting in that stool. My friends looked silly sitting in that stool. The only person that looked normal sitting in that stool was my son. And at that time, he was pretty much a baby. So that kind of explains a lot. But if they did do a Spy Hunter in the proper form factor, maybe a stand-up version and in a deluxe cabinet, that might have been something that would have interested me. But either way, to know they were trying to make this cabinet, pretty exciting. I'm a James Bond fan. This kind of has James Bond vibes, so it's a cool cabinet to me. The next one we're seeing here is Smash TV. Now, in my opinion, this is the cabinet that probably has the highest chance of still coming out. This is a beautiful prototype. It looks like it's in that original Midway or Capcom Legacy cabinet with the the fins coming out on the side of the marquee. Even with that being the case, this still looks phenomenal. I think it shows great potential of what could be, because if Smash TV does come out this year or early next year, it's going to be in a deluxe form factor. It's going to be in a better form factor than this. And I still think this one actually looks pretty good. It's pleasing to the eye, in my opinion. So I'm excited for the potential of this title coming out in the future. And I feel like this cabinet would have Total Carnage and Robotron on it as well. So something that would please a lot of people. The next thing we're looking at is the baby cades. Now, the one to the left there, as you can see, is Batman themed. And that was also something that was leaked to us way, way back. Never ended up coming to fruition. But that is a baby cade that I would actually be excited to pick up for my son. I'm a huge Batman fan. And I've been getting my son into Batman as well. He's already watched the 1966 series. We went through all the seasons. I collect a bunch of Batman stuff, so when he comes down to the man cave, he sees the die-cast Batmobiles, he sees the Batman figures, he's got his own Batman toys, so I feel like this is something that would fit in our household. Being Batman fans, I think it would be a fun little game for him to have, and something I would probably play with too. I don't know how great the actual game would be, but I think it would be fun for him to kind of have a little Batman game to play. Now, the next thing we're seeing is probably the one that I got the most excited for, because this thing looks freaking awesome. It's a Pong Deluxe cabinet, and they did it in that old school Pong form factor. I don't know what to say about this thing. I just think it looks beautiful, very retro, very close to the way the original Pong looked. And it was the one that really kind of excited me the most out of everything we've seen today. Unfortunately, no one picked it up. No retailers wanted this, but yet they wanted the Pong pub table. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I actually thought that looked pretty cool, but I mean, this thing is freaking amazing. So I like it. I probably would have bought it, but unfortunately, never came to fruition. But definitely cool to see, and my favorite out of all the ones we've seen. Now, the last prototype we have here looks like a reskin of the Attack from Mars. It's the Medieval Madness pinball machine. I mean, it looks cool. There's not too much to say about this because I'm assuming it's truly just a reskin of the Attack from Mars pinball table that they did. I think it's cool to offer different options of different skins. Obviously, we're seeing At Games do that with success. So for Arcade1Up to kind of do the same thing, I think it would be smart. Tales of Arabian Nights would definitely be one I would love to see as well. But me personally, Attack from Mars is my favorite pinball artwork, so I'm happy with the one I have. But to see this one, it's pretty cool. Obviously, again, being a prototype and never got past that stage. But you never know. If Arcade1Up does get in the pinball market again, maybe we'll get more pinball with different skins. Oh, shoot. Sorry, you guys. I forgot to mention a certain cabinet that was pictured earlier, but I was talking about Paperboy and completely forgot to acknowledge the cabinet that was to its left. And that is a half Tetris, half Cubert cabinet. Now, to me, that's an interesting combo, but I know how much people want Cubert. I want Cubert. I love that game. I mean, we need a Cubert cab. Cubert is such an iconic arcade character with his swearing and the little bubbles, and it's such a fun game to play. And I'm assuming a Cubert cab would be paired with Cubert cubes, but I never thought it would be paired with the Tetris. This one kind of threw me off. But Tetris is a fun game too, and maybe it would be a good pairing between those two. I'm not really sure, but either way, it never got past the prototype, which is unfortunate. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and my personal takes on each of the images that we saw. We got some great prototypes of some cabinets that are very exciting. It's very unfortunate that they've never got past that prototype stage and that they're not available to us through retailers, because I know there's some titles and some cabinets that I showed today that some people want and they might not ever get from Arcade1Up, but I do see some potential with some of them. Most specifically, Smash TV. I think that's one that we might even see this year, if not early next year. I think we might even see a Cubert cab at some point. I don't think it's going to be that Cubert Tetris combo cabinet, but you never know. I know they felt like it would be hard to sell Cubert. I don't know why, but for whatever reason they felt that way. And maybe they feel like Tetris would be a good way to kind of give it that boost and maybe attract more people. And to me, that Pong Deluxe cabinet, I would love to see that come to a retailer. I think that thing looked beautiful and very, authentic to the original cabinet. That one excites me, and yeah, hopefully it shows up at some point because I would love to get it in my man cave arcade. Other than that, it's pretty much the waiting game to see what Arcade1Up does. But with these prototypes that we saw today, obviously there's potential of them making some great looking cabinets. The form factors are only getting better, and just from the prototypes that we saw today, there is some potential there from at least these leaked images of what could be. So we'll see what happens. Take care, you guys. Again, thank you for watching the video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a fantastic day.